Hello and welcome to the Lost Media Chronicles, a show of which discusses various lost movies, music, art, and in this month's case, video games. Today's topic isn't a video game itself, but it's definitely video game related. Video game adaptations are an integral part of the video game culture. Various games have built up their lore as a result of movies, TV shows, and comics. Today's topic is a strong example of this. This is the story of Pokemon Live. Now, to understand how this came to be, it helps to know the nature of stage shows based off of pop culture properties. These shows have been around for decades. Disney was an innovator, with ice shows originating in the late 1940s. However, Disney started its own separate Disney on Ice in 1981, which really got the ball rolling. Throughout the 1980s, famous pop culture items such as the Ninja Turtles got touring stage shows. These shows served as marketing tactics and were hugely profitable. Some were live-action dramatizations featuring people in costumes, others were musicals. They reached their peak in the 1990s. I remember going to see one based on the Power Rangers in 1994. While these shows weren't exactly known for their quality, they were considered fun for children and hardcore fans. In the late 1990s, Pokemon was at the height of its success. It exploded on a global scale, with 1999 being its biggest year. The anime was one of the most watched children's shows, the movie was a box office smash, and the card game was a phenomenon. Naturally, with the past successes of stage shows, a Pokemon musical was put into the works. I can't seem to find much information about the production. It was funded by 4Kids Entertainment. One of the leading hands behind the show, Chris Mitchell, has also revealed some minor details. It toured the United States between September 22, 2000 to January 19, 2001. Some behind-the-scenes footage of the show's production has leaked. Its songs were from Pokemon soundtracks, as well as original compositions. Intricate special effects and costumes were made for the Pokemon that appeared on stage. The runtime was roughly 90 minutes. Several of the actors that appeared in the musical went on to have successful careers, with a few big names making an early appearance. The plot to the musical was based off of the anime. A mysterious gym leader challenges trainers from across the land to a battle to win a one-of-a-kind diamond badge. Ash Ketchum, played by Dominic Nolfi, having declined attending a lecture with his mother and Professor Oak, played by Dee Roscioli and Patrick Frankfurt, accepts the challenge. He journeys with Pikachu, Brock, and Misty, played by Ikkyu Otani, Heidi Marie Waymuller, and Dennis Kennedy, to attend the battle. Jesse James Meowth, played by Lauren King, Andrew Rannells, and Maddie Blaustein, get called by their boss, Giovanni, played by Darren Dunstan, to see his most prized possession, Mecha Mewtwo. As the journey continues, it is revealed that the gym leader is none other than Giovanni himself, who is hell-bent on using Mecha Mewtwo for world domination. While Ash and friends go after Team Rocket, his mother discusses with Professor Oak about her past. It's here that we learn that she used to date Giovanni, something that was never discussed in the anime. Seeing as the mystery of Ash's father has been one of the most talked about theories in all of the Pokemon fandom, this is a pretty big deal. During the fight, Ash gets attacked by a Hyper Beam from Mecha Mewtwo, when the real Mewtwo, played by Jay Geode, protects him with a force field. Mecha Mewtwo then turns on its creator and self-destructs while the real Mewtwo rescues Ash. It ends with Ash making peace with his mother's past, and the rest of the cast gets together and dances. Like many musicals of this nature, it wasn't met with praise, though fans liked it. It ended up collapsing in less than a year. Performances in the UK were planned, but were cancelled soon after the final US shows. Chris Mitchell admitted that it was made about a year too late, as Pokemon wasn't as big in 2000 as it was in 1999. It was too expensive to make money. This carries some truth, but I feel like the musical could have done something that would have made it more successful. By this time, fans were getting tired of Generation 1 storylines. If they had followed more of the Johto saga, they probably would have had more success. Pokemon became big news again after the second generation came. However, even if they did that, it still would have fallen flat on its face for another reason. Remember that stage show fad I was talking about? Well, by the early 2000s it was dying out, big time. Kids' attention was turning elsewhere to the growing video game industry and other forms of media. On top of that, critics, fans, and especially parents started seeing them as money-grabbing schemes. Perhaps the biggest swan song to this fad was Seussical. It was lambasted by critics and only lasted a handful of months before being pulled. While it saw second life in high school performances, it was seen as a lame attempt to cash in on a pre-existing franchise. While other pop culture-based musicals have spawned and had varying degrees of success, especially works related to Disney, the movement is no longer as massive as it was in the 1990s, and it seems much more confined to Broadway. Recordings of the Pokemon musical have been scarce. In 2008, a video containing high-quality segments leaked, but was deleted a while later with no explanation. Chris Mitchell himself has also uploaded a full performance of the musical, but it's far away from the stage and it's hard to tell what's going on. According to Mitchell, it was the highest quality that he had in his collection. Allegedly, there was a pro-shot version of the musical from a Chicago performance. 4Kids hinted at a DVD release of it on their website, but it never came to fruition. The soundtrack got a CD release, and there's some other lower quality bootleg recordings, but that's the most we've seen. There is a full recording of the Dubai version of Pokemon Live. It helps give viewers a better idea of what's going on. However, some songs and characters were removed, and this version only clocks in at 50 minutes. A 2-hour Mexican dubbed version was performed only once and aired on Mexican television on Canal 9 on August 27, 2001. No recording of this has ever surfaced either. A Portuguese version was also performed, and clips to this one exist online, but no full recordings. It's unknown if any other foreign versions of this musical were made, or if any recordings of those exist in full. Pokemon Live remains an elusive piece of Pokemon media sought after by fans. Nobody is pretending like it's a groundbreaking piece of art, but it doesn't have to be. It remains a relic of times long past, and its greatest value is nostalgia. I would say it has a fairly high likelihood of being found, but it's hard to tell who is in possession of the full pro-shot version of it. Perhaps it'll either leak or get an official release. But until it does, it remains a fascinating story with people still searching for it. That's about it for this episode. If you like what you saw here, please consider subscribing and be sure to click that bell icon so that way you'll know when I post new videos. Also, be sure to check out other videos of the Chronicles, or if vinyl is more your speed, be sure to check out my other show, Adventures in Vinyl Land. As always, thanks for watching.